Alright, what's up y'all? Matt here. How you guys doing today? What's up? I am back with another Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind video for you guys today. Quickly coming upon the release of that here pretty soon, and I'm going to be making a lot more videos on that leading up to it, you know, Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. But you're still going to get some of the other videos through this whole channel transition thing. So yeah, let's get into it. So, Kingdom Hearts 3 base game that came out on January 29th, 2019. All of us have played at this point, and everyone has had their own little reactions to at this point. It was all over the board. It was all over the place with people really liking the game, you know, really loving it and stuff like that. I was one of those people. I still really like the game, even though I do have some issues with it. There was another group of people who were really upset with the game and were very disappointed on what the final product actually delivered. They wanted to see a lot more stuff from some of their favorite characters. Thought there was some stuff missing, and there's just a big disappointment for a lot of people. I'm gonna be making another separate video on that altogether, so make sure to look out for that. But for this video, I want to specifically focus on the problems people had with the story. I think that's where a lot of people's issues kind of lied. There was a lot of people who really wanted to see like a certain character more. The ending, they thought it was very disappointing, lackluster. Some people said it's just like the worst way to end a game ever, or whatever, you know. People were really upset with it. One of my biggest issues with Kingdom Hearts 3 is the ending, base game ending, that is, because it's just not finished. It's just simply not finished. There's so much stuff missing and plot holes, like what happened to Demyx. Some character arcs are not wrapped up properly, and there's still some stuff left up in the air. It was like there was so much more that needed to be added in there, but just wasn't in there, and it was probably going to be added later. I also made a whole nother video on that if you want to check that out as well. But as I always keep saying in these videos, Remind is clearly the answer to, you know, those problems. If you look at the trailers, the majority of stuff that's taking place in those trailers is taking place in the Keep-Like Graveyard and the ending, and there's just a bunch of whole different new stuff that's going to be added into it. The ending of the game specifically, at least from the trailers that we see. And of course, there's other stuff being added outside of that too, which, you know, kind of the main focus is the ending from the trailers at least. There's just a lot of story content being added into the game with Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. Again, like I mentioned, people's main, you know, problem with Kingdom Hearts 3, the base game and stuff like that, is that the story was disappointing. It was kind of lackluster. People wanted a lot more, and, you know, they were very let down by what was in there. They wanted to see a lot more of certain things. Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind seeming to add a lot of that stuff back in, honestly. You know, I had some disappointments with Kingdom Hearts 3's ending, like I mentioned with Luxord and Demyx. By the looks of the trailer, those are some the main focuses of it. You know, Luxord and whoever his identity is, that seems like a big, huge focus of this Remind DLC. So that complaint on my end is getting fixed there. I always have a joke with Demyx that he's the master of masters or something like that. Well, he's in Remind now, so we can maybe see what actually happened to him during that whole ending sequence thing. So yeah, those things, personally for me, seem like they're going to be fixed. They're going to be satisfied. That kind of leaves me with the question of, will Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind satisfy the unsatisfied? And by that, I mean the people who are really disappointed with Kingdom Hearts 3 and did not like the game that much. Now, before we say it, yes, I know there is other things outside of the story that people have complaints about. That mostly has to do with gameplay and how people think it's unbalanced and Sora is too floaty, and that's kind of the main stuff I see. I don't think that, honestly. I love the gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 3. I think it's really fun. I'm not very technical when it comes to playing games, you know, the dumb gamer. I personally have a lot of fun with it, so I have no problems with it, you know, to each their own. You know, it's kind of split in half. Main two things are the gameplay and the story. Looking at those trailers, man, Remind, they're injecting a lot of that stuff in there, and some other stuff that people have been really wanting to see, you know, more stuff of Aqua, you know, what's going on with that. Shion, that's probably going to be a lot more explored in the game as well, and how she got there. Naminé, there was a big thing of that in the trailer, and people started freaking out because she really wasn't in the main game itself. She was kind of pushed aside a little bit, and, you know, that's now that she's being added back in, people are losing their minds. Another little complaint that I had is that they didn't really utilize the Lingering Will and Terranort, and they're going to be having a battle in Remind based on that trailer. So much stuff that I think people really had big complaints about with the story are being added back into Kingdom Hearts 3. And so I think Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind could, you know, alleviate some of the issues that people have with the base game Kingdom Hearts 3 in terms of story, at least. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. You know, you may be mad that it wasn't in there to begin with and all that kind of stuff. I get it. There's like two different scenarios that I think happened. One, and this is one I think the most likely, is that they wanted to include all the stuff in the original ending. You know, they had plans to do it and all that stuff, but it was becoming too grand. They didn't have time to put it in there. They would have had to delay the game a lot if they wanted to put all that stuff in there. So they decided to, you know, delay the game to not have it be in development even more. If all this stuff was going to be added in the original game, might have gotten the game just now, in the full release of it. So you have to take one or the other. Or two, they saw a lot of people's complaints that they had with the ending that they had in there already, and they said, okay, people want to see a lot of this more, so let's start adding a lot of this in and, you know, kind of putting some more focus on that and giving some satisfying conclusions, at least. I think it's a little bit of a combination of both, because they obviously listen to their fans. So I think that was a factor in it too, you know, what to put a lot of focus on into Remind specifically. A lot of the big complaints, a lot of that stuff's being shown in the trailers, like especially Xion and Aqua and that kind of stuff, and Kairi being playable. That was a big thing as well. So I think Remind, for the people who really got disappointed with Kingdom Hearts 3, you know, the base game, I think this might change their minds a little bit, or maybe give them, like, you know, a second glance at it, and you know, they may give it a second chance because of all the stuff that's going to be added back in and going to be more fleshed out. The stuff that they wanted to see in there originally may change their whole opinion on Kingdom Hearts 3 altogether, because now that this stuff is actually in the game, I am pretty sure eventually down the line they're just going to release a version of Kingdom Hearts 3 with Remind included, and that will be the version that everyone has to play. I think could get a lot of satisfaction out of it. You know, I think they could get a lot of the stuff that they were missing in the main game with Remind. And I think that's why those people should really check out Remind and kind of give it a glance. I know a lot of people who are just adamantly saying, no, Kingdom Hearts 3 is the worst thing ever. It ruined my childhood and ruined the series, and blah, blah, blah. And they will never try Remind. And hey, if that's how you feel, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I honestly feel that if you're really disappointed with Kingdom Hearts 3, you should give Remind a try and play some of that and see where all the stuff that you wanted to see kind of goes. Satisfying the Unsatisfied, like the title of this video suggests. If you're one of those people, I think you should do it. Just go in with open mind. Don't go in expecting a one certain thing that you're wanting to happen with certain characters, because that's what ultimately led to a lot of people's disappointment, I think, with Kingdom Hearts 3. And, you know, if you end up not liking it, that's fine. To each their own. We're just gonna have to wait until Remind comes out to see what exactly is all in it and what stuff is going to be covered, and to see if the people who really didn't like Kingdom Hearts 3 may change their tune a little bit, or maybe just give it a little bit of a second chance. Some people probably like it again, and some people might hate it, but that's just how that happens. We should probably play it anyways, because it's the last big piece of Kingdom Hearts media that we're going to be getting for quite a long time, meaning years in that case. So this is something that you ain't going to be getting for a long time, so you might as well just go on with it. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me down in the comments below what you think about this. What do you think about Remind and what they're adding into it? Do you think it's satisfying a lot of people's complaints with it? Is it satisfying your complaints? Is it something that you're looking forward to see if it makes the game better for you, if you're one of those people who didn't like it? What thing are you most excited to see in Remind? Tell me down in the comments below your opinion. Also, make sure to subscribe, like this video, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, turn on notifications. Really awesome if you did. This has been Matt, and I will see you guys in the next video, whatever the heck that's going to be. So yeah,